Hello, and welcome to this, the January episode of the YoS Challenge. I'll start again, shall I? That's fucking shit.
Are you ready? 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 Are you ready for the Year of Shame Challenge?
Hello, and welcome to this, the January episode of the Year of Shame Challenge podcast. I'm Jayce Stokes, joined as ever by my trusty band of challenge people. I don't know, what do I call you? Challengers?
Shamers?
I don't know.
Shameful people?
Shamers? Oh, we are shameful people, especially Neale.
Yes.
Matt, Neale and Adrian, we're all here.
Hello.
Hello.
And we're going to start this thing properly. So the pilot episode was pretty well received by everyone. Thanks to everyone for your support, for listening. We had lots of lovely downloads. No iTunes reviews yet, but we'll get to moan about that later on. Everyone seems to be getting on board with it. Some people are supporting us. Some people are saying we're arseholes. And some people are enjoying us and doing their own challenges as well. So overall, I think that's pretty good. So if you haven't listened to the YoS Shame Challenge podcast before, the premise of it is every year a group of people come together to challenge themselves to not buy any of the new games that come out that year and only play the games off their pile of shame. So we all amass this big pile of games that we don't get to play. The aim is to get through as many of those as we can, not spend all our money buying all of the new games that come out, and see how we get on with it. So yeah, you can join us on this journey. Let's get started with the first section, which is feelings. We're going to talk about how we are feeling at the moment. It's obviously only the first month down, 19 days in. Only 347 days to go, gentlemen. Because we have an extra day this year as well, which is a bit of an arsehole. So how are we feeling? Neale, what are you doing?
I'm all right, yeah, I'm fine. As soon as we finished the introduction podcast, the whole challenge went to the back of my mind. Obviously, no, it's still there. Obviously, got to adhere to the rules as and carry on and such. But I'm not feeling anything yet. I'm not feeling any pressure. Although I'm sure we'll come on to it later on. But you get those rumblings. People are talking about the division a bit too much for my liking. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, agreed.
That's it. It is only January.
Yeah.
And, games traditionally don't come out in January, so it's one of the easier months because obviously it hasn't all kicked in yet.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm feeling the same sort of way. It's just, yay, I'm doing the YoS Shame Challenge again and telling people about it, and people are asking in the office about it when I'm talking about doing podcasting and stuff like that, and people are going, what, you're not buying games? That's a bit fucking stupid. I'm like, no, it's fine. I've done it before. It's fine. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling happy at the moment with it, but that will soon change. What about you, Matt?
I'm good with it. I'm good. I too have the division sort of sitting over the top of the hill and calling at me and taunting me, and actually doing the challenge has made it more appealing. Forbidden fruit kind of thing. I think like the dry January attempt that recently failed, when you can't have something you want it more, and it'd gone off my radar, and now I find myself looking at videos and seeing what people are talking about, and that's worrying me a little bit.
Well, you've already proven yourself as an epic failure on any challenge, so
well,
we'll see.
I'm not sure where this sort of name came from, that I can't do a challenge, because
was it something to do with the fact that dry January lasted 12 days? Or 12 and a half, sorry.
People were calling me out before that, saying that I was going to be the first one to fail, which I'm not quite sure where that's come from, but they're probably right.
Yeah, if there's going to be odds taken in any kind of betting going on, I think, you're odds on favourite.
Well, we won't talk you down yet. Anyway, we'll wait till the questions for that. We'll talk you down there.
Yeah, give me a chance. Let me start, knock me down slowly.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll have your moment of glory while it lasts.
Yeah.
Adi, what are you saying?
I'm finding it really easy, to be honest with you. There's not been anything that's come out that I've wanted to buy apart from one, and I've been strong and I haven't done it. I'm completely ignoring the division, to be honest with you. I'm seeing loads on Facebook and loads on Twitter and loads of videos and loads of wow, look what this game can do. We didn't realise it could do this, and I'm just ignoring them at the minute because I don't want to think about it. I think what's really helped me is I've just in my kind of travels for work the last week, I've been listening to all the Giant Bomb Game of the Year podcasts that they brought out around Christmas time. And they're talking about all the things that was out last year and all the things that were brilliant about the games last year. And I'm just really excited now to play all of those that I've got sitting waiting. So for me, I'm kind of more energised now than I probably was 2 weeks ago. So all good here.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think it's good that, having your list and just knowing that you're ticking things off, you feel like you're completing something, and just stick to the list. Don't deviate from the list. No. Basically.
I must admit, I'm a bit daunted by my list. But
I'm daunted by your list, mate.
It gives me fucking vertigo.
I don't know how I'm going to do it, but, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do all of them. But do you know what? I'm going to make a good old dent in it. Ready for 2017. So
that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about getting that pile down and realising you've got a problem, doing something about it for a year, trying to stay strong. So, I think we're all doing all right, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, we're doing all right for 14 days in, or 15 days in. We're doing all right.
I think it's probably the 19th of January, so we're probably on 19 days.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Unless you've been
we don't worry
buying
about do you even maths, bro?
Have you been buying games for the first 4 days of January?
No.
Did that not count because you weren't back at work?
Yeah.
I've not bought any games in 2016.
Excellent.
Sweet. Right then, I suppose we've touched on it slightly, but the next section is coming up, and that will be what we've missed. So Neale's in charge of this section. So go on, Neale. What have we been missing out on? Right,
well, we've got a bit of a debate on this about how to approach it, so please feel free to kind of rectify me if I've grasped the complete wrong end of the shitty stick. So this is basically what we're going to be doing, is going through games that have come out prior to this podcast being released. So every month we're going to go from month to month. Now, because we've kind of started at December and January's dry, no pun intended, I've kind of put on a couple of games on here that came out in late December time, quite big games, and I've also listed a couple of games that have released in the last couple of days since the beginning of January. So if we go through these, and by all means, if you want to skip along and you don't want to discuss them, then that's perfectly fine. Should we jump into January and see who's got, what feelings people have got, what people think about these particular ones, whether they're regretful and stuff? Does that sound all right?
Well,
go for it, mate.
Let's do it and work our way back, because I've got some older ones as well. I'll tack on the end that I had my on last year and didn't get around to buying. So
I'm going to say, mate, I could talk about all year if we went through every single one, but the ones, the kind of big hitters that you could still be feeling the ripple effect of want and need. First on the list, Just Cause 3. See, I knew this would twang a chord in Jayce's love vein.
See, I was balancing it on the edge of buying Just Cause 3 just before Christmas. I thought, it's certainly my sort of game, open world, blow stuff up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I thought, no, I've got the other two Just Cause games I can play, and they're all quite good and stuff like that. They're not got quite as much destruction, but they're still a good laugh to play. But then since the challenge has started, I've seen a few little videos here and there of just the stupid things people are doing, like attaching rockets to cows and making them fly across the place. And there was that video that people put out where he was just standing by the road and just carnage was happening with him doing nothing.
He didn't do anything for a minute or something, and everything just went to shit.
Fucking fantastic. I need this shit in my life. So I have thought about it a few times, but no, I can't break this early. That's just silly.
I think you're right, though. I think because I've got this one, and it is in essence it is a Just Cause game. It feels the same. It feels the way you're doing exactly what you did in the first two games as kind of liberating towns, etc. The one thing that when you do get the opportunity to buy it next year, and obviously you'll buy it for next to nothing, the wingsuit is a great addition to the kind of your traversal set, and it's very hard. Even those open world games, I love open world games as well. I love like blowing the crap out of stuff. I like going off on my own little tangents. But the to be able to get around the map without touching the floor at such speeds and just feeling that you can fly, it does feel really good. So I can't wait for that moment when you get to play it, Jayce, because I think you're gonna love it.
Oh, you're making me feel even worse.
No, I'm trying to make you feel better.
Move on.
Okay.
Before we move on, just one question about that, Neale. You've got it as a class 2 on your list.
I've played it. I've played a couple of hours of it. Yeah.
2 or 3 hours. So you've had it a little while. How come only a couple of hours? Because you got bored of it, or just other stuff got in the way?
Well, for a couple of reasons, really. I kind of, not knowing that I was doing the challenge with you guys, because I think it was kind of before things got confirmed, I kind of naturally had a bit of a stockpile growing of games. And I think it was around about the same time that Fallout had been out for 1 or 2 weeks. Other games kept on popping in. And I think it's one of those games, because it's open world, the story... Have you ever played number 2? Matt?
Yeah.
I only played the first one.
Okay, well, number 2 has probably got one of the worst stories in any open world game. Like, it is a terrible story. It doesn't make sense. It's hard to follow. And you wish there wasn't a story. You wish it was just about blowing the crap out of stuff. In 3, it's similar. The story is slightly better put together, and it's a lot more tangible and understandable, and it's a bit more coherent. But it's just... you got such a large space to blow the crap out of stuff. So it's very easy to drop in and out, drop out, I think is what I'm trying to say. So coming out of it and not wanting to complete it, because I don't even know what the completion time would be on something like this. I'd say 40 to 50 hours, definitely.
Yeah.
By doing it, completing
that
the game.
means 200 for me then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Because that's the thing, because there is challenge elements. So the particular the way that you can level up your grapple hook or your grenades, for example, is completing set challenges around the map. You unlock them when you liberate a particular area, and the competitive side of you, Jayce, would be roaring and raging because there's online leaderboards. So completing a wingsuit course in beating the time, getting high destruction, killing more people in a minute, that type of thing. And it does pull you in, but because it's such an easy to drop in and drop out, and it is like, I'm going to blow the crap out of stuff for 20 minutes and then come, play something else or, go to dinner or whatever. That's why I'm not going to put much time in it. I will come to a point in the coming months, more likely when we get to the summer lull, where I'll be like, right, this is one of the games that I'm going to crack, and I'll play it and play it and play it till I've done it. Does that make sense?
Fair enough, yeah.
I picked Just Cause 3 up just before Christmas, and I wasn't going to get it. And Just Cause 2 had been on Games with Gold a couple of months previous, and my son was playing it, and he got stuck on a certain bit, and he said, "Well, Dad, can you just come do this for me?" And you know what? I sat there, and an hour later, I had a great big grin on my face, laughing my head off, and I'm just having so much fun. And I just went downstairs and went, right, bye. And I bought Just Cause 3 because it just made me smile and it just made me laugh. And I thought, right, do you know what? I need to buy it. I've not played it yet. And then my son sits upstairs every day saying, what did you play last night? Have you started Just Cause 3 yet? I'm like, no, not yet. Oh, God, I want to know whether I can play it because it's an 18, I think. And
yeah.
He's 12 and I'm kind of, it's border. Some of these games are borderline. But so he's pressurising me to play it. But I think as you said, Neale, I think that'll be one for the summer.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't suggest that you played it. There's quite a bit of swearing in it, and some of the cutscenes are over the top violence.
Yeah,
so I probably shelve it.
Yeah, it's the swearing bit for me, which is the thing that would stop me letting him play.
Yeah. So but that's no problem with that one. So we'll move on because there's plenty to talk about. Yeah. The next one on the list is Rainbow Six Siege. That was a big one that came out in December. That's been a kind of runaway hit for quite a few people on my friends list anyway. I know that me and Adi picked it up. Jayce, are you going to miss in this? This is your type of game, isn't it?
It kind of is, but because it's all online, it's all multiplayer.
Yeah.
I think to do well at the game and to get what I want out of the game, I'd need a dedicated set of people to play it often.
You do.
Certainly when I played the demo of it at Eurogamer and stuff like that, I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the experience, but it's one of those where you could certainly... Because nowadays nobody fucking talks, no randoms talk online, which pisses me off. That's another thing for another podcast. I don't think this game would work for me
Mm.
because I don't have that dedicated set of people always online. So maybe I need more people on my friends list, or maybe I'm just glad I'm not getting it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you've hit the nail square bang on its head. The good thing about it is it does feel like a good game, but it's a lot. It is really the lobby that makes it funny. You could fail an objective, but you don't mind failing because the people you're playing with, you're taking the piss out of each other and stuff like that, and the banter's really good. So you've got to have dedicated people. Playing with randoms, they'll just be frustrating because it's a proper teabagging game as well, where they do just come up to you and just benchmark all over you.
I need to get on in with
Yeah.
you lot on that, Neale, because it sits there on my pile. So I think one night this week, once I finish the game I'm currently playing,
Yeah,
I think
well,
I need to get in
definitely do
Get
so.
on that.
Quickly, Matt, this is not? I don't think this is your type of game at all, is it?
No, it's not really my thing, and I think I need to focus on other single player story based games before I go into an online shooter again.
You lost a part of your soul to Destiny. That's what it was.
Yeah, I did.
it broke off.
I lost 8 or 9 months to that, and as much as I enjoyed it, it was great, and it was a brilliant social experience. I missed out on so much, and my pile got so big. That's part of the reason for doing this challenge. I don't want to do that again, and then the Division's around the corner.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on then, next, because we've got plenty to go through. I put this on, but I don't know how much applicable it is to us. I don't know what systems people have got. Xenoblade Chronicles? Yeah,
Nah.
Let's move on. Okay, so January. It is a dry, but there is one or two things that have probably been on people's radars for a little while. The first on the list is the kind of 2.5 platformer, the Assassin's Creed Chronicles India. That came out about a week ago, I think it was.
And it does look really nice. And it is only...
The art style looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's only $7.99, which that...
I've not even seen
that for me would have been
platform's it on?
would have been a day one purchase if at $7.99 because that's how I am. It's cheap and it looks good and I'll buy it.
And it sits there and
it sits there and I won't play it like the other one.
I don't know if it's out for PS4 yet, Matt. I don't know if it's timed exclusives for Xbox One, but it's on Xbox at the moment. And it's kind of like I've read a couple of reviews and people are it's a mixture of the aesthetics and lore of Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia. There's absolutely no point in asking Jayce about it because we all know his feelings about
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, because we know his feelings about Assassin's Creed.
Although this is probably the most sort of Assassin's Creed I'm most likely to play, because isn't it a bit like The Last Ninja or something like that? Isn't it?
Yes,
play like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
So
yeah, I'm looking at it. It does look sort of like Assassin's Creed Lite with a very nice art style. It's very pretty.
I'm not bothered about it. I'm not going to miss this. It's very, even though I do enjoy Assassin's Creed games, it's passed me by. I'm not bothered at all. So we'll move on. The next one is you're gonna have to help me out with this one because I know this is Matt. Probably might know a bit this one, and Jayce might know a bit about this one. Gone Home.
Yes, this has been mentioned a lot on the Giant Bomb Game of the Year podcast, and I think it was in the top 10.
Yeah.
Right.
PS Plus free game last month, I think it was. So I have it ready to download if I want to stick it on my hard drive. I haven't put it on my list. Yeah, I haven't put it on my list yet because I'm not 100% sure. But hearing the Giant Bomb lads talk about it, it sounds very good. Sort of PS1 style graphics, or PS1, PS2 style graphics. Clever platformer where each trigger is your hands, so you have to sort of navigate your way up and make this tree grow and collect things. And
I think you're confusing Gone Home with Grow Home.
yeah, I was going to say that because I am on the Steam page at the moment for Gone Home, and it's an adventure game where you're trying to work out why your family's disappeared.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound anything
that's
like
Gone Home. Yeah, I'm talking about Grow Home.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake. Well, I'll edit that out. Should we talk about the right game?
No, edit that in. Okay, so So we are talking about Gone Home, aren't we?
Oh, that's a great game. It's on the PC. It's where you have to find out that someone's gone missing.
So which game is it that's come out?
Gone Home.
According to the website, I pulled all these on. It's Gone Home.
Yeah, and it's come out. It's been out on the PC, and I think it's
It was out on PC on the 15th of August 2013.
Yeah, and
It's
now
coming out,
on
I
the
think, on
Xbox.
consoles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely come out on the Xbox One. Because this is one
okay,
game
so-
that I think I definitely am interested in. I definitely would have bought it had I not been on some stupid challenge. And it's what Jay says. You are coming home. I think you're kind of coming home from college, and you get home and all of your family have disappeared. So it's about looking through your family home and trying to find the clues and trying to find out where they've gone.
Oh.
And it's only a short game, from what I believe. It's only kind of a 5 or 6 hour game, but it's one of those games that's kind of more of a story film experience rather than a game. Because I know there's been a lot of conversations about it. Like, should it be in the game of the year? Because is it really a game, or is it just like a bit of entertainment? But it's certainly done very, very well. So it's definitely one that I would have got.
I think the reason I'm not going to miss this one is because I've got sat on my hard drive on the PlayStation. Everybody's gone to the Rapture, which I think is a similar kind of thing. Same gameplay style, same high fidelity graphics, same interactive story. So I've kind of got something to fill that gap. So I'm not going to miss that one too much, thankfully.
Oh, good. Okay. Jayce, have you got an opinion? Can you be bothered?
I did look at it on Steam a while back and thought it might be something interesting, but I'm not that much on walking simulators at the moment. I like the puzzly bits and stuff. I do like the puzzly bits of it, but there's enough of those type of puzzling games on iOS that I can get for much less money, so that's probably where I'd go for that sort of game.
And it's got a story in it as well.
Well, stories are all right in the puzzle game because puzzles are involved in it. Oh, don't start me anyway. That's
that's
not
the wrong
for this
section.
Conversation, right?
Okay, let's move on. Okay, so this is probably one that that most of us have heard about, if not all of us, and it's one definitely that I've considered way back when I saw that it was out for PC. The Banner Saga.
Very good game. Very good game.
So have you played it then, Matt?
I've got it on the PC because this release refers to it coming to consoles. I played it on the PC. I liked my turn-based tactical strategies. Hence, next month when we have What We've Missed, I'm going to be very sad. But it's got a brilliant art style. Really nice hand-drawn comic-style art for the cutscenes and everything. And then you have to sort of amass your army, plan your inventories. You have some random events where certain choices you make can have a big knock-on effect that's permanent. And then you have these little scenarios where you have an isometric view and a turn-based battle with your 5 or 6 people in your party. It's really, really good game. It's about probably 15 hours long. It's definitely one, if I hadn't have played it on PC, I would be quite sad to have missed it this month.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
AD, is it anything that you
nothing,
thought about?
No, nothing interests me, that one.
It's dead to me. I have no interest whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in stuff like that, so no, I'm quite happy to miss this one.
Jayce?
Are you Jayce? Are you a turn-based battler?
No, not really. Not on my radar, to be honest.
I've been interested in it just because I didn't even know it was a turn-based kind of game. I just was interested in it from afar, just because of the art style and the kind of storytelling that it might have to it. But to have those additional bits of the mechanics sounds interesting. But it'll be around forever. All these games will be here waiting for us in a year's time, so I'll pick it up then.
And I'd say get it on PC when you do get it, because it's definitely a good mouse and keyboard kind of game.
I've heard the PC's being phased out now. I've heard they're not going to be around with 2017. So
yeah,
are they not? Oh, you missed it then now.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't run it on my PC currently. This is wind up. This laptop I've got, it's ridiculously crap. Okay, moving on. Resident Evil 0 HD remaster. Somebody help me out. I'm not a Resident Evil a person at all. What is this? A remaster? I didn't even know there was one in originally.
It's Resident Evil. Don't ask me. I don't care.
No,
Me neither.
Not in the slightest. Not a franchise I have any love for at all. I have played some of the games, but it's not something that I even care about.
AD, is this something?
I played the first one on PlayStation 1, I want to say. Maybe PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I've never played a Resident Evil game since. So
So you played the first one on PlayStation 1. I remember playing that as well when I was a kid. And
Fucking tank controls.
When the dog jumps through the window the first time, Jesus Christ, I actually shit myself.
New underpants time, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, bicycle clip time. Matt?
No, exactly same again. PlayStation 1, brilliant game at the time. It was quite cutting edge when it came out, and I haven't touched one since, and haven't had an interest in touching one since. It's just not really. On the survival horror and me don't really go together very well.
You realise we're going to get fucking slated for this conversation?
Yeah,
yeah.
Because Resident Evil is loved by the masses. I'm glad you agree with me, though.
Yeah, well, the thing is I've just never got round to it. I missed when 2, 3, and up to how many others remasters and what have you have been out. I missed that kind of gaming part of my life. I was doing other things. I was having sex with girls. So I never got into the series. So probably this is a good time. If I wasn't doing this challenge, I could go back and start at the beginning, because they'll probably go through and do them all, I would imagine, or some sort of method like that. But at the moment, I'm not that bothered at all.
I'm still wondering if having sex with girls and playing games are mutually exclusive. I'm not sure they are. I've always managed to do
when
both.
you're young.
Well, I do both now, but when you're like 18, 19, 20, and all you want to go out, drink booze, and have sex all the time, I didn't have much time for anything else, to be honest with you.
That's why fucking Game Boys were invented. Just rest it in that bit of a hollow of her back. It's all right.
That's why playing Snake on your 3210 was allowed back in the day.
Yes.
I got dumped once for gaming.
What?
I got dumped.
Come on, now you've got to tell the story.
I just got up one morning, I went downstairs and I put GoldenEye on the N64. and I sat there for about 2 hours, and the next thing I know, I was sitting on my own. So,
you sure it's 2 hours and not like 3 weeks? He suddenly came to and looked around, and the house was bare.
But there you go. One of them things. Move on.
Oh, wow. Okay then.
You got the better end of the deal, mate.
Yeah, definitely. I've still got to play GoldenEye later on that day.
Exactly. Yeah. With my friends.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on. Next one. Again, this is good. We're going to skip over this one because I've never heard of it. It's another Resident Evil game. Origins Collection. No idea what that is.
No. Move on.
No.
We're going to get thrashed for this, guys. So many negative comments. And then the last one on the list wasn't placed on the list by me. I think it was placed on by AD. Is it Oxenfree?
Oxenfree, yeah. This is the one that's tempting me. This is the one that's sitting there, and I keep watching videos and hearing about it. It looks fantastic. It's kind of
Tell us about it.
It's kind of an adventure, point and click, solving puzzles, and it's done slightly different in the fact that you've got the voices going on as you're moving, so you're having conversations with people while you're walking through the game. And it just if you look at videos of it, the art style is just completely different to anything else that's out there. It got great reviews from another podcast I listen to, and I just want it. It just looks really good. It just looks really different, but I'm not going to buy it because I'm on a challenge. But that's the one this month that's tempted me.
It looks a bit sort of Broken Age-y.
Yeah.
2D Broken Age kind of art style.
Yeah.
It's quite pretty.
Yeah.
It's all about teenagers, AD.
Yes.
Are you having a bit of a midlife crisis?
No. It's kind of they compare it, I think, to, it's kind of a Friday the 13th, I know what you did last summer type vibe to it, where it's a group of teenagers who go to a beach late at night, and then spooky things happen, and they have to solve it and find out what's going on. And it just looks fantastic, and it's a story, and it's just a little bit different. But
it sounds different.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like a horror. You look at the art style, and it looks like a very cartoony, nice, safe kind of Saturday morning TV kids show and the cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah, it's not.
So that's quite a nice juxtaposition between the two, then.
Yeah.
Until the murder starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as I say, that's the one that I would have bought because I've seen it. I've seen it come in, and I've had my eye on it, and I hoped it was going to be a December game so I could buy it, but it's not to be. I'll wait for Games with Gold, or I'll wait till 2017.
Just buy it so we can all take the piss out of you.
Nope.
Yeah, nope. And then you've got 11 months of shame.
Nope.
No, well,
Not me.
the thing is, you might get lucky. It might come out Games of Gold. It come out PlayStation Plus. You might get, and if not, it's not an online game, so you're not missing playing with other people.
No,
So
exactly.
just play it in a year's time, and you'll be fine. And it'll be dead cheap. I'm expecting every single game that I want over the next year to be 99 pence next January.
Yeah, it will be when we hit the Christmas sales this year. Any little game like that will be $1.99, $2.99. So
Yeah,
just wait and just pick them up on December the 31st at 1 minute to midnight.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Brewster's Millions. Okay, I think that's it for the list. Has anybody got anything they want to chuck in?
I would like to add one from last year that I wish I'd bought over Christmas, and I'm regretting it now.
Okay.
And that will be Life is Strange.
Oh.
I was toying with it, and I was getting more and more interested in it with it, and then the Giant Bomb podcast kept mentioning it, and I had to keep skipping past those bits because I didn't want any spoilers on it, because I know that it's got a very good story with a lot of the twists. And I thought, no, it'll be alright, and then 1st of January came, and I thought, fuck, why did I not buy that game? Because now I've got to go a whole year without having it spoiled, and that's probably not going to happen.
It's definitely not.
I know people are going to keep talking about it. It's one of those games that stuck with people, I think, and people will be referring back to it when other similar games come out. And I'm gutted that I didn't pull the trigger over Christmas.
Well, you could be even more gutted because it's a game that I've completed in the last 2 weeks, and we're about to talk about it.
I know.
So close your tabs.
I saw that, so I might have to go off and.
No, I'm not going to spoil it, you fanny.
That's all right then. I'd like to hear about it so that I can just beat myself up even more.
Okay. Well, I'll try and taint everything with a bit of sourness, so it doesn't sound as good as it actually is.
Okay, thanks, Neale.
It's all right. It's no problem. You should have picked it up at Christmas because it was £8 in the Xbox sale.
I don't have an Xbox.
Oh, of course you don't.
No, you fail anyway. Then don't worry about it.
There's less temptation, I suppose, because he's not got both systems.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, it was cheap. It was £8 in the Xbox Christmas sale. So I dipped on that one. Oh yeah. So yeah, you could have got it for cheaps. Oh,
I'll get it for cheaps in 2017.
There you go.
I think you should just play through it and just Twitch it so Matt can watch you play it instead.
Yeah. I got put it this way: one playthrough, you can get all the achievements. 1,000 scored it. Yeah,
ooh,
that's right.
Even more appealing.
Yeah. So okay, so that's what we've missed and what we're missing currently. We'll move on, shall we, Jayce? What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do that. So the next section is Payal Progress. So we each have a spreadsheet. By the time this comes out, I will have put a screenshot of our spreadsheets up on the Facebook page. So make sure you go to YoS Challenge, whatever it is, Facebook thing. I'm sure I'll try and put a link in the show notes if I can work out how the fuck to do that. But yeah, there's a screenshot of each of our piles up there. Some pretty small piles this time in comparison to last time I did the challenge. So it might get interesting towards the end of the year. But who's made some progress? Matt's made a lot of progress on his pile. Go on, Matt.
I have been very busy. I don't know if it's because this challenge has spurred me on and given me a list to tick off,
or because you've been calling in sick all the time and not going to work.
Well, possibly, but I think it's just circumstance. It's just been a quiet start to the year, and I've got my gaming mojo back, and yeah, I've been busy. I've been really busy playing. Okay, so first thing was... Yeah, let's start at the top. Okay, so a game I very recently finished and platinumed, and I think if I played it last year, it would probably be one of my games of the year, even if it didn't come out last year, but let's assume it did, is The Order 1886. I don't know if any of you guys have played it.
Yeah, I have, and I've platinumed it as well.
And I thought it was fantastic. For me, an 8 to 10 to 12 hour campaign is perfect. And this is the thing that everyone slated it for, and this is the reason it didn't sell as well as it could have done. And it's the reason that it's probably not going to get a sequel that it deserves. But I really enjoyed it. It's a real solid shooter, solid cover-based shooter. Nothing exceptional, but what it does well. but the graphics are like nothing I've ever played before. The art style, the setting, the shootouts with in the old Victorian saloons with glasses smashing around you, voice acting, just everything was brilliant. And I put probably 15 hours into it, played through it twice, platinumed it, and I just loved it. Really loved it.
It's good. I agree with you a lot of things you're saying, but did you like the story? Because I found the story just a little bit the only shakiest thing about it.
I thought the story was okay. I think probably you could see where it was going, but I do, without spoiling the ending, you could see it was part one of 2 or 3, intended as to lead you into another game. And I'm gutted that we're not going to get one by the looks of it, because Sony said it didn't sell well enough. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it didn't have me gripped.
No.
But it was just the way it was executed. Yeah. Just I can't remember the last time I played a game where I just stopped and looked around and took screenshots because, some light coming in through the window illuminating an old Victorian tavern or an airship above London or whatever. It just really captured me and I played it start to finish twice in a week, and wow. I can't believe I missed it. And I think anyone who has shied away from playing it, you can get it for under 20 quid now, and I'd 100% say go for it. So really chuffed for that. Okay,
all right, excellent. So what else have you been playing?
So I dabbled with, and I've put it down, and I've Cat 5'd it, a game called Papers, Please on the PC. I think a lot of people played it on iOS, and I think iOS is probably the way to go with it. I put 4 or 5 hours in, it just isn't the game for me. I know I'm not going to play it, so I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I gave it a shot. I bought it for £1.70 or something in a Steam sale, so I've had my money's worth. And the only other one, which again I've got to Cat 5, which I did over Christmas, was an old game on Steam called Binary Domain.
Oh, yeah.
Again, third-person cover-based shooter. I don't know why I've sort of gone to those. I think playing The Witcher for so long made me want something different. Bit clunky graphically, story's terrible, characters are awful. But you get to shoot robots and shoot their arms off and their legs off and bits off them and panels and shoot their heads off, and they go and shoot each other. It's just fun. So
it's like the ending of Terminator.
Yes, very much so.
So they're just crawling across the floor kind of thing.
Yeah, you shoot their legs off and they start crawling towards you like Terminator, and you have to shoot them in the head or they jump on you.
Sweet.
It's just really good fun. And again, it was probably a 12-hour campaign. It was on Steam for about £7.
Excellent.
So yeah, highly recommend it. So yeah, I've had a good gaming month and cleared more games off.
That's pretty good. The fact that you've got 3 games kind of ticked off, even though kind of completing 2 and kind of fed up with the other one. That's good. AD, do you want to move on to you?
Mine's going to be quite short and sweet, really. I've only played one game this month, which is Fallout 4, and I've nearly finished it. I think
you're joking.
Yeah, I think I'm now on 121 hours. That doesn't include probably the 3 or 4 hours that. Thanks, Jayce. That I did, because I've done kind of 2 endings. So I picked one faction to go through to the end, and then reloaded a previous save and then completed it another way. I love it, but do you know what? I'm done. I think I've got a couple of hours on it just to mop up and get the last 2 or 3 achievements I need to get, and then I'm going to put it to one side until the DLC comes out. And I'm not going to start a big game after this one. I'm going to have a month of just playing smaller kind of 10-hour games, 5-hour games, just to get some off my list. But I love Fallout 4. And I say 121 hours, I think, is the equivalent of what I put into Fallout 3. So I think that's me just about done.
Excellent.
And that's all I've played. Nothing else.
Yeah, I suppose the thing is, though, it's such a big game. You will come back to it. I'm pretty sure you will.
Yeah, I will.
You'll just probably think, something else. Because I did that before Fallout 3. I went back a couple of times and pissed around for loads. Yeah. Okay.
The thing that really, really annoyed me is the very, very kind of last story mission that I did on the second kind of ending I did. I've got an absolutely awesome gun, and now I wish I had that near the start. It's amazing, and it's just kind of I'm one shot on everything at the minute, which is I wish I had it 20, 30, 40, 50 hours ago.
Oh my
But,
god! Imagine,
brilliant game, but I'm just about done with that now.
a manager the carnage. Okay, well, I'll go next, and then we'll come on to Jayce. So, I've completed Life is Strange, like I mentioned earlier on. And yeah, it is a good game, Spink. Bigger than you think. I played it for about 24 hours to completion in the end.
Okay.
So it was actually a lot more involved than most people would instantly put to it. It was the kind of the music that kind of drawn me, and it's a very the soundtrack is fantastic. It's one of those games that makes you want to go and find the soundtrack afterwards. It is an interactive drama. It kind of feels like a point and click, but it's also kind of got the telltale element to it as well. So decisions that you make, how you interact, what you do, will have ripple effect and repercussions later on. And like I mentioned on to a couple of friends and on a different podcast, the final decision that you make is a doozy. So it will, knowing you as much as I know you, Matt, you'll be bowled over by the last decision that you have to make when you do have to play it. So you'll be gutted. So yeah, that's that. I probably could talk a little bit longer for it, but we'll crack on. And then Jayce, close your ears. The other game I've been playing is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And I'm currently playing it, and I've got a feeling it's got me back into Assassin's Creed. It's a really good Assassin's Creed game, and I've got a feeling that I'm going to be trying to mop up and complete as much as possible, i.e. collect all collectibles and stuff like that. It's really good. Visually, it's fantastic. And I think I was doing the same.
The London-based one?
This is the London-based one, yeah.
Looks very nice.
It is. The city, the actual city itself is beautiful. I mean, it's really beautifully rendered, and it's the shadows, the lighting, the weather effects. But it's how gritty it is as well. It feels more real because it feels like a dirty industrial city.
Does it have the chicken shop by Earl's Court?
Well,
if not, I'm not bothered.
With the mozzarella sticks?
Yeah.
That are never in stock.
Rubbish.
I think they had them back in those days, though, didn't they?
Mozzarella?
Yeah, there wasn't a mozzarella shortage back
No, they were just sticks back then. They hadn't invented mozzarella.
They were just eating wood. It is a good game, and it's really fun to play, and the story is much more engaging than previous iterations, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to completing it because I do want to move on. I don't know what I'm going to move into next, though. I've got my eye on a couple, but I think about another 10-20 hours and I'll be done with that one. And then on to Mr. Stokes.
I've been pretty shit, actually, because I'm still playing through Fallout. My progress has been very little. Fallout still has me in its grasp. Also, I've been grasped by FIFA this month, which is a bad thing anyway. So next month, I am going to definitely play some more stuff. I have dabbled into the Games with Gold games this month. We've got Dirt Showdown, which came on 360, so I've been playing through that because I missed that entirely when it came out before. Really enjoying that. And this Z Heroes, which has come out on the Xbox One. I'm going to try that out. It looks pretty shit, but I've tried it, so maybe I'll give it an hour or two more to see if I like it.
Yeah,
it might be an easy class 5 to scratch it off my list. But yes, expect more progress talk from me next month.
Oh, nice. Okay, nice and tidy. We'll move on then, shall we? So we now on to the next section.
The next section will be, if I can find the right page, the next section will be community feedback. So this podcast and this whole concept of a thing will be nothing without community feedback. It's all about getting support from the community, getting community involvement. And to do that, we have been sent some questions in. So, AD, please read us out the first question.
So the first question comes from the man himself, Mr. Uncle Fister. And he's asked us, what are the rules that we have on regards to DLC and in-app purchases? So throw this one out to Neale first. What do you think?
For me personally, you can't buy them. They're not. For me personally, I won't be buying any DLC. I won't be doing any in-app purchases. Mind you, in-app purchases, that's a tricky one. Because...
In-app purchases are the work of the devil.
Well, that's the thing, is they are such a money pit sinkhole that it's probably one of the worst aspects of about buying video games, isn't it?
What sort of things in terms of in-app purchases pull you in? Do you like different coloured guns in fucking COD or something?
Well, no. The only one I can think of that has quite recently tempted me is that occasionally I play some Elder Scrolls Online with a couple of friends, and the store there, it is about. I know it sounds stupid, and you will mock, but it is about like the kind of mounts, the horses that you've got, and things like that, and expanding your satchel or your bank limit and stuff like that. It's a proper MMO in those respects. So they are the work of the devil, in-app purchases. But for some games, the temptation's more justified than others, I think. So from my perspective, DLC is a no for regarding the Year of Shame. I think you're buying a game, you're buying content, you're buying a game, you're spending money on game content that's 5-6 hours, depending if it's episodic or if it's, if it's the Witcher 3 expansions, which are meant to be kind of 10 hours each, you're buying a game. So from my perspective, it's a no. In-app purchases, I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can change my mind.
Well, let me add a bit of background to this, because I received this question. And if I said Marvel Puzzle Quest, to anyone, would that ring a bell?
You can say that's me. I knew that when Pista put this question in, he was talking to me in the subtext. Because, yes, I religiously play Marvel Puzzle Quest on my phone. However, that is on my phone, and that was never in the rules. And it's the only thing I ever spend in-app purchases on is Marvel Puzzle Quest, and that has always been the case, and that always will be the case. So,
hold on. When did in-app purchases become and iOS become totally exempt? Was that always in the rules?
It was always in the rules last time I did that, and it was always in the rules this time as well. Because iOS is not where the pile of shame comes in, is it? Because on my phone, I think of all the games I've got, I've probably paid actual cash money for about 6 of the 200 odd games I've got on my phone. Because I only really buy games when they're on offer. But yeah, my little Marvel Puzzle Quest is my little thing.
And how much have you put into Marvel Puzzle Quest?
Yeah, and what do you
Totally, from the start when I first started playing it 3.5 years ago, whatever. Bit.
How much? Estimates?
Sub 100 quid.
Ooh, so we're talking 80, 90 quid of in-app purchase.
We're probably talking about 70 altogether, but that is in like 3.5 years, whatever. So
I think that's probably a generous estimate. It's probably going to be a bit more than that because everybody always does that. So what? To help me understand, because I don't know the game at all, what are you buying?
Hero coins. Coins that enable you to increase your roster and upgrade your dudes. That's it. That's all you need to know.
So colours for guns.
Move on.
Colour skins for guns.
So I do remember going back to the first year, iOS and that kind of thing was always exempt from this challenge.
Thank you, sir.
I do remember
That's because Jayce makes the rules, and Jayce wanted to play Marvel Puzzle Quest.
For me,
once you pop, you can't stop, mate. That's the fucking rules.
For me, I absolutely hate in-app purchases, and I think probably the only thing I've ever done with those is been when I kind of going back 2 or 3 years when FIFA first launched the Ultimate Team stuff, where you buy cards.
Now that's for cunts.
Buy points, and I did a little bit of that years ago, but do you know what? I just don't touch the stuff now. I
don't get that at all. I don't get it. I'm just not a child of that FIFA stuff. What? Somebody explain it to me. What?
Is 11 blokes on each side kicking the ball and they have to get it into the net at either end?
No way. And what, they have to do this in what, a day?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So these packs, how much are these packs then? For these FIFA...
They can be... I don't know what it is now because I've not played the game in years, but they used to be kind of something like $2.99 or $3.99, and you get a pack. And did you ever do football stickers at school, Panini stickers?
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
So it's the digital equivalent of that. And the players and the things that you get out of those packs are then yours, and they're in your team. So it's kind of like the better... if you get a good player from a pack, all of a sudden that makes a difference to your ultimate team.
Right, I see.
And you do hear stories of people who have, who's let the kids run riot with a credit card on the Xbox or on the PlayStation. They've racked up £5,000-10,000.
And they come online with all their fancy people they've bought, and I still beat them.
So yeah, I mean, I don't like the stuff. And DLC for me, I've got £20 of credit. And if there's a particular piece of DLC that comes out,
that's right.
I'm going to use the credit.
But
however,
that's fine.
However, credit plus Rocket League, I might use it for that instead. But
no, in the realms of what you've got organised for your year, AD, you've got some money set aside that's pre-bought, that's ready to put on DLC. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's more. I think the question is more like if an expansion comes out, if a season pass comes out for a game that we've already got, or what have you. Is it cheating by buying the DLC? What's the rules on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your views on DLC, Jayce?
I think if there's a game you're particularly invested into and you have got the credits sitting there to buy yourself a DLC pack, I don't see why you wouldn't do that. Again, it's all about setting your own rules. We've said this to all the members of the community. They've all asked, what do I do about DLC? I like this game so much, and there's DLC coming out. If that's the only thing you buy this year, and you still haven't bought any other games, you've still done better than you would have done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, if something like The Taken King came out and you were going to spend fucking 40 quid on it, then that's probably a bit over the top. But, for something that adds more to an experience you really love, then, yeah, why wouldn't you do that? I'm not saying I'm going to do that for the Fallout 4 DLC that's rumoured, but no, I'm probably not.
So,
probably bought the season
Jayce,
pass for that.
Jayce, are you stopping your in-app purchases for Marvel Puzzle Quest?
Am I? Fuck.
That's a silly question. You knew the answer.
I did know the answer.
I'd rather go without fucking food and gin.
He spent 170 quid in the last 3 years. I'm chucking another 100 on that, Jayce. You've definitely spent more.
I haven't. I have not. Anyway.
Right,
you
next question.
Like.
Do you want to take this one, Jayce? Because I think you've already been having some interaction on it on the Facebook page.
Yeah, we had a question from our old mate Kev Atkinson, who said on the Twitter, how many games do we expect to complete and remove from the list this year? And, second part of the question, do we think our list will be bigger or smaller at the end of the challenge? Now, I did reply to Kev and say, how the fuck are the list going to be bigger if we're not buying any games? Then he did say, I'm talking about Games of Gold, PS Plus, things like that. So, personally for me, because I've only got Games of Gold, I haven't got PS Plus, so I'm going to have less games added to my pile. And hopefully if I pull my finger out my arse and stop playing Fallout, I can get some of them played. So I'm hoping my list will be smaller. And I would like to think I could finish 80% of the games on my list. Maybe.
Ooh,
there's not too many big long ones on my list though, so it's not so bad. I think once I've got Fallout out of the way, there's a couple of long ones on there, Tomb Raiders and stuff like that, but nothing massive really. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, my objective is not to complete every game on my list. My objective is not to buy any games. So if I can tick off as many as possible and drill it down, so if my list is 50% smaller, by the time you get towards Christmas and things like that, then I'm excellent. I've not spent any money this year where I would normally spend, countless amounts each month on games that I don't get to play. So I don't think mine's about reducing. It's more about sticking to the rules and not buying any games.
Yeah,
nice. Fair play.
I think for me, I'm only picking and choosing which PlayStation Plus games I download. So I'm not going to be getting 24 of those. Probably 5 or 6 for the ones that are actually any good. So yeah, I definitely want mine to be half what it is now, I reckon. That's my sort of aim. If I can have half the number of games on the list at the end that I started with, I think that'd be good for me.
That's not too bad. That only means you've got to get through 10 games really to get to that point from what you've got left. So you're in a good shout there, I think.
Yeah.
Although there is Fallout 4 on there, so we'll hold back on that.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to wait a while before I get stuck into that summer drought, I think.
I'm going to aim to get 26 off my list because I said back in the pilot that I was going to do a game every 2 weeks. I'm still going to try very, very hard to do that one. So I'm going to aim to get 26 off my list. I'm going to do the same as what Matt's going to do. So the games with gold this month, the Z Heroes, as you said, Jayce, it looks crap. So I'm not even going to press the button on it. I'm not even going to tempt myself. I'm not even going to add one to the list because it looks crap. So no, I'm not even going to do it. So I think I've got 58 on my revised list, and I'm hoping to get 26 of those out and gone.
I would still click on the button on the website and have it added to your list.
Nah.
Do you mean? And so then in a year's time or whenever you might want to play it, it's there because you might regret it, especially if you've got kids and stuff. If you get those kind of games that you might not look good now, but you might. But just don't add it to the list, maybe.
But the trouble is I've still got all the ones that were free that I bought a year ago, 2 years ago, when Games with Gold first came out, that I've never touched. And they just sit there. They sit there looking at me as if to say, "You need to play me. You need to play me." And I don't. And I've got no intention of playing them, so they're gone. I'm not even going to do it because all the games that come out that I do want to play and that I'm really interested in, I really want to put the time in. I want to focus on those.
Okay, no problem. All right then, that's that one done. I think. Then shall we move on to we've got a final question. Shall I read this out? Why not?
Yeah, go for it.
It's not fair to let Matt read this one out, is it?
No. So the last question we've got from the community is from the man, the legend that is D5120. Darren, come up with a question of, out of the four of us, which one of us do we think is going to be the one that cracks first? Now,
what do you think, Matthew? What do you think the odds are?
I don't think it's going to be me.
But you wouldn't, would you?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Because I have, obviously, we all have a Joker, and I have a reasonable amount of Steam credit and PlayStation credit that I could go early and take one of the games that are coming out and not break the rules, so therefore not cracking. I don't think I'm going to be the first one to struggle and have to actually break the rules.
I think for me, Matt, I think what makes me lean a bit towards in your favour for this is your list of games isn't as large as other people's. So when it comes to July, September time, when you're starting to dry up a little bit, and you're knowing that the cusp of games are coming, that's when the temptation will come and kick you in the bollocks.
It's possible. I'm just looking at my list now, and actually,
because if you're playing at a rate you're doing now, you've kind of put 3 games to one side already in the first 18 days. At that rate, you're not going to have a single thing.
And I'm relying on something like Fallout sucking me in for 80, 90, 100 hours, and I'm not sure if it will, because I didn't get on with Fallout 3, and I only put 20 or 30 hours into it.
All right, get out. Put your mic down and get out.
Yeah, exactly. I think we need to disband you right now. I think AD being the most prolific buyer of all of us, he's going to find it is equally as hard.
Yeah,
because
I think my shouts with AD.
I think where Spink might not that much have to play, and therefore his game will dry up and he'll have temptation. I think somebody who buys video games on a whim as much as AD does, it's going to be hard when he starts seeing. I mean, even the one that's on the list, that he's missed, it's that Oxen free completely missed us by, but you wanted it, AD. So I think if that happens a couple of times, the temptation's going to creep in like some sort of, I don't know, nasty cancer.
Yeah, I think it'll be me the first one to go.
A confession.
Yeah, I think it definitely will. I'm the one more likely to, just because I have this obsession with buy it. But I tell you what, it's not going to be me. Because I'm not going to. It's more likely to be me, but it's not going to be me because I'm going to do this challenge. So I'm going to get through this year. So yeah,
that's what we like to hear.
I'm the one more likely to, but it's not going to be me.
So I think me and Jayce are quite happily safe.
I'm just a stubborn bastard, mate. I'm fucking giving in. Like last time, I didn't give in. I just didn't play any games because I was too busy doing other things. But this time, I'm going to play games and be a stubborn bastard.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I will be tempted, obviously, but I'm not as stubborn as you, Jayce, because that'd be saying something.
However, Neale, I think
yes?
I've got a funny feeling there might be a situation where it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're pissed. You've not fallen asleep, and you wake up. You wake up on Saturday morning and go, "Hang on a minute. Why is the Division downloading on my Xbox.
Yeah, right. Well,
It's got the man raises a fair point.
he does actually. Yeah. I mean, the thing
he
is,
does.
I do stupid stuff when I'm drunk. I will be the first to admit that. If I make a mistake like that, then I'll take a forfeit. I'll pay the consequences. But I have absolutely no intention. It's ingrained in me with the situation I'm in at the moment. Buying my first house, having this massive pile of games, all the kind of money that I sink into it. I've got such a motivation not to spend any money. If I have a lapse of concentration when I've got far too much gin inside me, then I'll pay a forfeit. I'll be the first to admit it, and I'll take the consequences from that. But I think actually, I mean, if we're going to put in hierarchy, then so it most likely is Matt. Is it most likely Matt, or is it AD Jayce? What do you reckon?
I'm erring on the side of AD, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm going with AD.
He is an impulsive buyer.
Yeah.
And Matt seems to be, the more we make Matt out to be the weak one, he seems to be more resolved to defeat us. So,
Good to prove us wrong.
Yeah, we'll see.
So AD, Matt, me, then Jayce, probably in that order.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair, yeah.
Although I
take
can't
that.
make any promises if Crackdown comes out and I've already fucking spent my Joker.
Yeah.
Dear. Oh, dear. Right. Anyway, so yeah, forfeits will be a thing, and it's good to look ahead, but we'll try and all stay strong for now. So please, nobody break before the February episode.
No, nobody will. Don't you worry.
Right then, is that section done?
Yeah.
Are there any more questions?
No, I think that's it. I think
That's
that's
it
it
for
for
now.
what we've got so far.
Cool. The other bit of community feedback we got, I did put out on the Facebook page and on the Twitter, I think, that people could send in audio submissions to let us know whether they were taking part, how they were setting up their rules, this, that, and the other. So we've had the first one of those in. That'll be played at the end of the show after we've said goodbye. So stay tuned after the music to listen to that. Have we got anything else to say? Any final words of encouragement for those people who are taking part with us?
Stick it. We've just begun a big journey. 18 days in. It's got to feel like you're playing sailing, but just stay on target, as Luke would say, and just don't give in. Don't give in too easy, too early. Think about what you think of. Just think of all the money that you're saving, and think of next Christmas, next January, or whenever you've set your target for. Just think of the free reign you can do, online, and just buy a fuck ton of games. God, that's good. I'm just gonna have a very hard penis when I get to order all those games.
The thing is, you'll get to a point where you're only going to buy the games that were good from that time you've missed as well. You're not going to
That's
get
it.
the duds, and that's the other part of it.
Because that's the thing. Like everybody's kind of like getting that kind of jittery stomach and stuff like that about the division. Some people are saying it's going to be fantastic, but it's that kind of unknown. Nobody knows until it comes out. The beta only gets released this weekend coming, and that's a kind of like selected beta for pre-orders. It might be shit. You might be, and if it is shit and nobody plays it because it's a multiplayer game and nobody's playing it in 2 months' time, you've saved yourself 45, 50 quid or whatever. And that's what people have got to keep in mind.
Plus
Definitely.
the in-app purchases for different colour jackets and stuff.
Or your Marvel heroes.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Knob. Okay, if we've got nothing else to say, then we're going to wrap this one up because we are going over a little bit for what we planned. But
Yes.
yeah, as I said before, listen in after the music to hear our audio submission, and hopefully some people will send us some more audio submissions for next month. So we will leave it there. Everybody stay strong. Thank you, everybody, for the community support we've had so far. Thank you for everybody who's downloaded. Please go on to iTunes and leave us a review if you use iTunes. And before we go, I suppose it's a good time to do all the domestic-y things. So who's going to read those out?
Oh, God. I don't know half
Oh,
of them.
fuck off. Right. Okay. I know you're all amateurs, so leave the professional to do it. Matt? No, I'll do it. Okay. You can get us on the Twitter at YoS Challenge 4, and you can send us all your thoughts and your feedback and everything on there.
Yeah.
Or if you want to send us any emails that you want us to read out, any questions you've got, or if you want to send us an audio submission, you can either email it to yoschallenge4@gmail.com, or you can save it, upload it to your Dropbox, your OneDrive, your cloud service, and send us a file link to that email address for your MP3, and we'll try and get it into the show. So yes, I think we better leave it there,
Yep.
and we shall see you in February. Play those games, people.
Yeah, stay strong.
Don't
Stay
buy
strong.
any games.
Don't buy any games.
Don't do drugs,
do it.
kids, and don't buy any
I have
games.
spoken. AD is the law. Right then. Cheers, boys.
See you
then.
later.
Bye.
The Year of Shame Challenge.
Hello everyone, I'm Ben and I'm a gameaholic. I've been sober now for 19 days and I feel I'm getting there. Obviously welcome to the Year of Shame. Thank you very much for adding me in. Going to look forward to getting involved and getting as many games under my belt as I can. I'm predominantly a Sony PlayStation player, so I've got the Vita, got PS3, PS4, PS Plus subscription, so I've got a shed load of games backed up, new and old. My main focus though is going to be getting platinums and going back through a lot of old games that I have already completed. Obviously, I've recently got the platinum trophy for Witcher 3, which I'm very happy about. And my next venture is going to be to go back through the original PS3's Uncharted collections and just finish those off, get the platinum in each. If I do, I might treat myself to Uncharted 4 when it comes out, but I might use that as my wild card. Haven't yet decided, but on the whole, I am not going to buy any games. That said, if anyone buys me some gifts, I am not going to say no. I've already got a short list of bits and pieces that I'd like in my birthday list or from Santa. Obviously, a few more months to go yet, but I am going to try my best not to do any purchasing of games myself. Generally speaking, I don't do DLC, but I did enjoy The Witcher so much so that when the second expansion comes out, I may treat myself to the season pass, which will give me another 30 hours or so of Witcher, and of course some more trophies to get the 100% as opposed to the 77%, which is rather frustrating for a trophy horse such as myself. I think that's about it, really. I am Space Monkeys on Xbox, PlayStation, and I think also on Steam. But I don't load up Steam for the fear of buying stuff that I will never play, as I'm sure one or two of you have already found out the hard way. I don't have a huge backlog in comparison with others. You know who you are, but I am going to go and get through as many as I can as possible. And if I succeed, then maybe I will treat myself to a gaming rig. And maybe the Steam sales next year will be a good thing to go by. But obviously that's 11 and a half months to go. I will stay strong and hope you all do too. And I'll catch up with you either on Facebook or obviously through the audio files that I will send in from time to time. So all being well, catch up with you soon, and good luck everyone. Cheers.
Hello, it's Matthew here, aka Geary Boy on PlayStation Network, and here's the first piece on my Year of Shame challenge progress. It is Wednesday, January the 20th, and been 23 days since I last bought a video game, so far so good. A few things I'm going to mention this time around. Why am I doing Year of Shame 2016? 3 reasons. Number 1, I managed 6 months of the original Year of Shame before I fell off the wagon, so I'm hoping to go one better this time. 2, we've got most of the consoles in the house and plenty of games that have barely been touched, so there's no need to buy anything new. And 3, I've recently had to change jobs and money coming in has taken a bit of a hit, so any money saved and not spent on video games will come in very handy. What are my rules for this year? Very similar to the guys on the podcast, really. I'm going to allow myself 1 wild card, allow myself a present, although I do tend to get credit rather than the games. I'm going to allow myself to renew PS Plus and Xbox Live subscriptions, so there'll still be those freebies there, and allow myself the odd Lego Dimension kit if necessary, as I've got the game and it seems a shame not to play it this year. without having the kits. Basically, I want the Ghostbusters kits, and I'm not waiting for a year for them. As regarding my Year of Shame list, a few big hitters to clear or attempt during the year. Most noticeably, Fallout 4, GTA 5, finish off Batman Arkham Knight. I've only put a couple of hours into Metal Gear Solid 5, barely scratched the surface of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and other titles such as Until Dawn that are still in their plastic wrappers. So yes, lots to get off the pile of shame. Some lesser titles too, and unfinished business on last-gen consoles as well, so plenty to do. So far in January, I've hoovered up most of the missions and collectibles in Assassin's Creed Syndicate and moved on to a title that's been sitting on my hard drive for a while, Sleeping Dogs. I'm very glad I did. Obviously similar to Syndicate, but really enjoying the storyline. It's really helped as well that I've been able to play off the screen on my Vita, which has doubled my game time. No titles tempted me to break my challenge so far, but it's early days and the big releases aren't here yet, so leading me to my last section titled Games That Will Challenge My Resolve or Possible Wildcard Choices, we have the following. There's not too many AAA titles that are going to tempt me this year. It's most noticeably a lot of the indie games. Oxen Free's just come out on the Xbox One, which looks interesting. Firewatch, Tacoma, We Happy Few all look tempting as well. And of course we've got the big hitters such as Mass Effect, No Man's Sky, Dishonored 2, The Legend of Zelda on the Wii U, that are going to cause a few sleepless nights and cold sweats. Hopefully some of these will slip into 2017. That's about it for now. Hopefully be able to update a little further into the year. Very best of luck to all the Year of Shame Challenge participants this year and the main Year of Shame crew on the podcast. Keep up the good work. It's good to know you're out there. I don't think I could do this alone.